Hello, everyone. Happy Black Music Month and happy Pride Month, as always. Of course, speaking of Pride, my rainbow and notebook. Uh, yeah. So today, I was going to talk about one specific artist, but as I was listening to their CD, I'll be honest, it wasn't hitting like I thought it would. I wasn't as interested as I thought I would be. So I was like, okay, all my crap in here. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to do something different. So I'm just gonna talk about the genre as a whole. I have my little buddy. I think I named him Caramel. He's in here. Oof, I just knocked him on the floor. It's okay. No pain, no gain. So yeah, we're back on the couch. I think we were on the couch last week, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. Yes, because I talked about the documentary. So we were here on the couch. So this month I'm trying to do like different things. So I talked about a documentary last week. I'm talking about a whole entire genre today. Well, whenever you see this. So next week I think I'm gonna talk about a book. So yeah. I don't want to give away what I'm gonna talk about, even though I kinda do, but I'm like, no. So I'm gonna try to focus on the same thing next week. Because I've been kind of just doing different things. But yeah, today we're going to talk about Hokum Blues, which Hokum is a term applied to a kind of raunchy blues song that was popular in the late 20s and early 30s. I'm just going to skim my notes, but I'm going to read this whole first paragraph because it's really important. The lyrics on some of those records that sold in their hundreds of thousands were quite explicit in their reference to sexual practices, prostitution, homosexuality, and other things that would scare your maiden aunt. So, scare the old people. This hokum craze grew up in the steamy atmosphere of Prohibition era, when drinking alcohol criminalized large parts of the population, and the permissive aura around anyone pursuing an interest in nightlife extended to sexual activity, gambling, and other immoral and subversive activities. It wasn't remembered as the Roaring Twenties for nothing. So I got this from a site called allbluesmusic.com. Let me double check. I'll leave a link in the description. That's what I'll do. I'm going to leave a link in the description. So I'll skim some of it. Some of the parts I didn't put in here. But that way, if you want to, look at it, you can. So signifying. So signifying is the use of double meaning in verbal communication to convey a different or opposite meaning to a literal interpretation. So they mentioned in this section about like slave songs, for example, how it will be like fine work that might sound respectable to the master and express the opposite to the slaves. So they use the example of the gospel song Wade in the Water. The lyric ostensibly refers to the practice of baptizing people in the church by immersing them in the river, but it also references runaway slaves using waterways to put the bloodhounds off their scent. So basically, you use something to mean something else. So basically a euphemism. I use that word a lot. And it did start with minstrel shows. Obviously, if you know what a minstrel show is, it's where white people dress in blackface and basically make fun of black people. So it's not like the greatest thing. It says they also made fun of the Irish and Chinese. And they also talked about sexual songs. So that's how it started. Burlesque theaters specialize in presenting semi-nude showgirls and scandalous songs as their main attraction, but the lyrics could not be too explicit for fear of authorities closing the premises. So that's what it's coming from the Jim Crow and from minstrel shows into burlesque. Many body songs were adapted from English, Irish, and Scottish folk traditions in the late 19th century and were played out in traveling shows and vaudeville venues. As such, they were a part of the repertoire of work songs, gospel tunes, ballads, and lullabies that were part of the common stock of popular music that early blues singers adapted to their musical form. So, that's a little bit of background on what Hokum Blues is, and I have made a playlist. I've made my own playlist, but then I also saved a playlist with a bunch of songs that I got these songs from. So that one is like longer. So when I had my old YouTube, I feel like I had more songs on it for this genre. So you can look at my playlist. But the other playlist has 63 songs and mine has like 6. So I'm going to talk about 10 songs. I don't have both my hands. So of course, the first song let's do was from Lucille Bogan, Shave 'Em Dry. So I'm just going to describe the songs. And yeah, we're going to go from there. So Shave 'Em Dry, if you ever heard it, it like is on TikTok, and TikTok is like notorious for like if you are a big chested woman and you wear a tank top, they'll like take down your video for sexual content. So the fact that this is on there is very crazy to me, but it's very straightforward, no holds barred. She's very upfront about what she wants, and I feel like when parents are like, "We never have vulgar music," just play this for them. LOL. I was gonna originally do my video on Lucille Bogan, but like I said, I was listening to the album and it was kind of slow, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna do 20 songs like this. So I decided to mix it up because I didn't want to do like the whole genre as a whole anyway. So here we are. And she has one song talking about lesbians, like stud lesbians, what we call them now, but it's called BD Blues, which stands for Bull Dagger Blues. We don't use that term anymore, but I'm always wondering, was she bisexual? I feel like she might have been, but I did not look up anything about these artists. I did look them up, like to make sure they were black, since it's Black Music Month. I ain't trying to have nobody slip in there that ain't black. But yeah, everybody was black. But I didn't really look up too much about her. But I know that she was like really popular, like with Bessie Smith, which I have a song by her here. I don't have a song. They also mentioned Ma Rainey. They're really popular. Like she was up there with them. If you ever seen Ma Rainey's Black Bottom on Netflix, it's a great movie. I feel like I kind of wished it was more about Ma Rainey. Maybe I'll review that because it was a good movie. But it wasn't as focused on her as I thought it was going to be. I'm not going to ruin anything, even though I feel like I did. But I won't ruin too much. But yeah, basically I wish it was kind of more about her. Alright, so number 2 is Bo Carter. My pencil won't write no more. So he says the lead is gone in his pencil. I'm sure we can all guess what a pencil is. So I said it sounds like he has erectile dysfunction to me, LOL. Or that he was doing too much the night before with the date he had. Because he does talk about he was with a woman the night before and he used all his lead. So it sounded like he was doing too much and now he can't do anything. So, you know, that's the kind of songs. Shave 'Em Dry, very straightforward. But some of these are also pretty straightforward. But, you know, my pencil won't write no more. It's like, you know, a euphemism. Okay, I think the next two are men. So we have Johnny Temple, which when I looked him up, one spelling of his name had a Y and one spelling at the end had IE. But because when I looked him up, I saw some white man and I was like, oh, nah. But then I looked it up somewhat kind of different way. Then it came up with a black man. So I don't know why on the record they spelled it with IE because I saw the record with this song on it. So it's called Yum Yum Yum. I think the full title is Give Me Some of That Yum Yum Yum. Which, that's pretty straightforward. He's begging for his partners. You guessed it. Yum Yum Yum. He sounds like he wants a quickie before he goes on tour. Because he says he's going away or maybe he's just leaving. But it kind of sounded like he was going on tour to me. And I said, well, at least his partner knows they're desired. LOL. He does get a little more excited and aggressive towards the end, which is like kind of jarring, but I still like this song. You know, people want to know that you really like them. You know what I'm saying? So this next one is very straightforward, but I mean, there's a lot of play on words, but it's by Bull Moose Jackson. It's called Big 10 Inch. Of course, we're pretty sure what that is. I said it's pretty straight euphemism. LOL. He definitely uses wordplay to make it sound like she means the record, but clearly we all know what it really means. He says his woman doesn't really like anything but his big 10 inches of a record of her favorite blues. So it's definitely a lot of wordplay. It's very fun, you know. You can play around. That's one thing I like about music. You can kind of play around with it and, you know, make it whatever you want. That was a fun song. Okay, number 5 is Julia Lee and it's King Size Papa. I said I feel like this could mean he's big in many ways, lol, including his stature. And I have a weird thing. I don't like it when people call their partner like Papa or Daddy or something of that combination. Maybe I was listening to Biggie today in the red car, and he said, you know, he's always talking about he's Big Papa, but I feel like maybe the big part makes it less weird. But yeah, that's always weird to me. And she needs his long, big sliding thing. I wonder what that is. Which I said using daddy in that context also makes it even weirder. Oh, whoops, I'm looking at my wrong notes. I said, but to each their own. Oh, I'm looking at the next song, y'all. Sorry. But I said, but to each their own. But he does sound kind of like comforting knowing this big man comes to take care of her and it seems like protecting her. So I feel like that's cute, you know. This one wasn't too explicit. It was more very implied. The next song, though, which I accidentally talked about, Dina Washington. I hope I said her name right. I think that's how you say her name. Mary J. Blige played her in the Aretha movie, which I need to re-upload that video. I did a review on that. So yeah, it's called Big Long Slatin' Thing. She tried to get another man, but it wasn't as good as her daddy. Oh, I hate that word. She needs this big long slatin' thing, lol. Which I said using daddy in this context is even weirder than the last song. Once again, a music euphemism for sex, and this one is very straightforward too. So no ifs, ands, or buts of what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so now we're going to Bessie Smith, which I mentioned her earlier. I need a little sugar in my bowl. She wants a man to tell her troubles to, misses her man that has been and needs. I think I meant to say has been away, because I think he went away for some reason. And she needs some sugar in her bowl. And a hot dog between her rolls. LOL. That is an actual line. I think they mentioned that I'm going to put it in the description. I think they mentioned that as part of the article of the parts I read in the beginning. And she calls herself Mama, which I feel is weird too. LOL. Although I have this weird thing, like if somebody called me mommy on TikTok or auntie or something, I don't think I would be offended. I feel like that's comforting, but I feel like also it depends on the context, 100%. Like when people be like, mommy, you can definitely tell that that's like a weird sexual thing. So I don't like that. But if you're like, oh, auntie, you're here, can you help me? I'm like, okay, that's endearing. So I guess obviously the context. So equal opportunity, weird pet names, I see. She's very demanding, but you know, hey, sometimes it be like that. Sometimes you really gotta demand, I need some sugar in my bowl. You just gotta get what you want, you know? Oh, so I have a whole video about Robert Johnson. Go watch that video. You'll learn all about him. But this song's called They Are Red Hot. Woman sounds like a sex worker to me. Says she's not his woman, though. So he says that she's not my woman, but she's out there, I guess. He sounds very different than I remember him sounding, even though I did record that video like last year, and I have not listened to any of his music since. But this is a lot more upbeat than the other songs I listened to him, because I listened to like Devil Blues or something. It was something with the devil and Crossword Blues. So they were like more somber sounding. This one is up front, but it's not as straightforward. So it's kind of subtle. You still understand the euphemism though. And I love the beat. He was a great guitar player, which is what he was known for. Which that's the legend, that he sold his soul to the devil to be a great guitar player. But if you watch my video, I explain why that doesn't make any sense. Because there's actually like proof that he actually practiced. But yeah. So the last song I listened to was by Blue Lou Baker, Don't Feel My Leg. This song was so funny. Because, you know, the playlist has 63 songs. So I'm trying to do, you know, they have a few by the same artist. So I was just trying to skip through and do one by different artists, you know, 10 different artists. And at first I was going to skip it, but it was just so funny. So we're going to talk about it. So she says that feeling someone's leg, it can lead to their hands to going up higher. So she was basically saying, don't feel my leg, you're going to feel my thigh, then you want to go up high. So yeah, she said, I know what you're trying to do. Which is true. You know, things going to escalate quickly. You start with a kiss and then boom, you're pregnant. So yeah. All right. With the power of editing, you won't know that I left, but I'm going to tell you so. But anyway, let's get back to it. So I was talking about how, oh yeah, if you start kissing, it can definitely lead to other things. You can lead to you getting pregnant, lead to 9 months of suffering, or 10 months technically. But yeah, but my favorite line was the one where she said, you're going to get fresh and you wind up asking for this fine brown flesh. So she said, I know I'm fine. She knows she's confident. I love her confidence. She knows she's all that. But you can't have her. LOL. So I really like that part. But yeah, those are all the different songs that I listen to. My overall opinion, I think this style of blues is very fun and unique. I think blues lovers should definitely check out these songs because they are worth listening to. I also think it's so funny how now newer generations have been painted to be so sexual, yet these were songs that, there were songs like these long before we were born. LOL. So anytime someone's like, oh, you generation just do this, you just do that. Well, play them some of this music. They'll know. So I decided to write a little story. Let me see. I decided to write a little story, so I'm going to read it. It's inspired by all of the songs, even though one talk about Biscuits? Oh yes, Little Johnson. Oh shoot, I skipped one. See, that's what happens when people be calling and texting you. So I'm going to read that one because I definitely skipped it. So number 7 was Little Johnson's My Stove's in Good Condition. So you get a kitchen euphemism this time, and I think that's super unique. I feel conflicted because it's super fun and unique, but then women get compared to objects all the time, LOL. Even though she's a woman, so I mean, at least she's doing it this time. So that's a plus. She says she needs someone to bake her biscuits, LOL, and turn her temperature down. So that one was a fun one. And Little Johnson, I swear, I've heard that song before, but I thought it was a man. But when I looked her up, of course she's a woman. So yeah. So I definitely, okay, I went through all the other songs. So we're going to go to my story, which is inspired by that song specifically. It's called Mabel's Biscuits. A tall, dark-skinned gentleman knocks on Mabel's door. She lets him in. Mabel is a tall, voluptuous, dark-skinned woman with a gold tooth that gleams when she smiles. Roger Moore, you naughty boy. What brings you to this side of the train tracks? Well, I heard you got the best biscuits in town. Is it true? Roger took off his hat as he sat on the couch. Mabel laughs and flashes her tooth. I reckon you wouldn't have come over here if they weren't. But I'll humor you. Of course, darling. They are soft, buttery, and baked to perfection. Not just anybody can have them. Well, not for free anyway. I got my week's paycheck here. Roger hands it over to Mabel. This man said, I'm going to give you all my money. Okay. She licks her gold tooth as she reads the check. This is definitely more than enough for 2 biscuits. Why are you giving me more than I usually charge? Roger nervously rotates his hat. Well, Mabel, I know you're a special girl. You damn right I am. I'm glad you realized that. Roger. Okay, here we go. I can't read today, y'all. Mabel reaches for Roger's hand. Don't be nervous. My oven's already hot for you, boy. She laughs again, flashing her tooth. Roger grabs her hand as she leads him to the bedroom. You're going to have the night of your life. Don't worry now. Don't you worry now. She plants a big, juicy kiss right on his lips. I got faith in you, it will be, Roger says. She smirks as her gold gleams before they get to baking all night long. So yeah, that's Hokum Blues. Have you heard of it? Have you looked into it? You should. I have my playlist, so definitely check out the playlist. Yeah, so that's it for this week. Next week, I told you I'm going to do the same topic all week, so I hope people really are interested in it. I think they will be. I'm very interested in learning more about what I want to talk about next week, because I've already been watching videos about it, and it's kind of crazy. So yeah, I will see y'all next week. And also look out Mondays and Wednesdays on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook for me sharing extra videos about Black Music Month. Yeah, so I'll see y'all next week.